I don't think she remembers when polio, the outbreak of polio was bad. But from what I've heard, it was fucking terrible. The motherfucking, goddamn Franklin Roosevelt, the president of the United States, had polio, could not walk on his own. Could not walk, period. Had to wear braces on his legs to stand up. You know how bad polio was? But they eradicated it. Made a comeback. Started making a comeback.
This is crazy, man. Listen to this about polio. In 2018, there were 33 cases of polio around the world.
Yeah.
20 years prior to that, in 1988, there were 350,000. The reduction of polio cases because of the polio vaccine is incredible.
Especially if you could talk, and we could go on this long diatribe of how the industrialized world did not get the vaccine of polio to the underdeveloped nations. And we can talk about that. That's not a conspiracy. That is a blight on them in the racistness and the classes of the industrialized world against eradicating this disease. But when they started doing it, it started going down. There were 0 polio cases in the United States at a time for a very long time. But because this shit, these people who think that they know better than doctors, it started to make a slight comeback. Apparently, you don't know what it's like to die of polio. Apparently, you don't know what it's like to die of smallpox, measles, mumps. Apparently, that is. And I'm pointing out to this is some white privilege shit. Because these are people that's upper middle class, upper class fucking people, mostly Caucasian, pulling this shit. And it brings up a conversation I had with a friend of mine. She had brought up how the Tuskegee experiment, the experimentation of seeing certain diseases on African American men that was conducted in the Tuskegee, Alabama, in the Tuskegee Institute during the 1930s and the 1940s by the U.S. government. She brought that up about saying about certain immunizations. And I had to correct her and I say, no, there's something totally different. Polio, smallpox, some of these diseases don't have a color line. They affect everybody. What we're going through right now, coronavirus. Even though the vast majority of people in certain cities in this country are dying are African American. But still, anyone can catch it. This is something, when you got something that you can eradicate in your community and then work on trying to get eradicated across the world, you do it. When you're sitting there debating a fucking scientist with vast amount of knowledge and evidence and a fucking goddamn vaccine that works.
Yeah.
And you're fucking having a debate against it because you're afraid your kid might get autism. You're fucking with the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's a very personal fight for some of these people. I get it. I get it. They're trying to. We don't know what causes autism.
Right.
And because we don't know, wild theories like this can flourish because people are just trying to protect their kids and their loved ones. I understand where this one comes from.
Right.
The other two things we talked about today are just ridiculous for the sake of ridiculousness.
Right.
This one hits home. I understand. But just because you have some vested interest because you have a child doesn't mean you can just distrust the scientific community.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have the right to put the rest of us in danger.
Yeah, it's not just about your kid.
Right.
It's about everyone else's kid. The kids who can't take these vaccines because they have immune deficiency disorders or some sort of disorder that they're allergic to this stuff. It's not just about your kid. It's about the community's goddamn kids.
Right.
And I've always said this. If I ever have a kid and I find out some damn parent that lives in my community doesn't vaccinate their kids, not because their kids have some sort of disorder that they can't take it, but because they believe in this bullshit. If my kid catches something, I'm going to go over to their house.
Lay Lego bricks on the floor so they step on them?
Oh, it's going to be a lot worse than that. It might be having to tell my kid, you might not see me until you're 18 and I'm behind plate glass.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Knowing the dangers of non-vaccination and knowing the harm you can do to the community, with all that in mind, spreading these lies, spreading this mistruths, and spreading these conspiracies, like, it's not a harmless crime.
It's not. And she's not the only one that spread this fucking.
Has she seen the light, or does she?
I have no idea.
She's still
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, she's not the only one. Like, Kristen Cavallari, Jay Cutler's fucking wife, Mr. I don't give a fuck. Robert De Niro, Bill Maher, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Hell, it even came up during the presidential debates in 2015. Donald Trump claims that knowing a 2-year-old to get a combined vaccine and develop a fever, and now they have autism. Because apparently Donald Trump goes around a bunch of fucking other kids and he's like, "Are you okay? Are you the best kid ever?" So apparently, it's going on to fucking politics. This fucking crazy ass fucking conspiracy theory. I want to whoop everyone's ass that believes in this shit. I want to bash your head in with a fucking baseball bat. This is beyond dumb. This is dangerous. This is putting everyone at risk because you're a fucking dumbass. This is just fucking insanity. This is literally the definition of fucking insanity. You're not doing it just for your kid. You're doing it for everyone else's kid. You're protecting the community. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Yeah. Because you want your kid to get autism. I understand. But goddamn it, what about everyone else's kid? And you don't even know that this has been proven. Vaccines don't cause autism. But yet this keeps going on and on and on. And this is what I fear is going to happen. We finally get a vaccine for this coronavirus, and these motherfuckers won't take it. I done seen it on Twitter already.
What are they talking about?
There ain't no government gonna make me take some vaccine that could be surveillance and shit.
Cool.
Dumbass shit.
Cool.
Dumbass shit. And what this leads to, not only the fucking mass outbreaks and shit, this leads to motherfuckers getting pissed off, forming posses, and going over to people's houses and fucking killing them and making them take vaccines. Because motherfuckers are tired of hearing this shit. In a minute someone's kid gets fucking sick because some other person's kid won't take the fucking vaccines, not because they can't, because they just choose to. What is that parent going? What are you going to do to stop that parent from coming over to your house and fucking you up? And don't be thinking like, well, I got guns, I'm just going to protect yourselves. You got to sleep. There's a thing called Molotov cocktails. I'm not giving anybody ideas. This is grenades, mail bombs. Take Kaczynski to Unabomber. They call it Unabomber for a fucking reason. If someone wants to get to you, they gonna get to you. Let's not get to that fucking plateau, because then now everyone's fucked. This is beyond stupid. Part of the reason why we're in the situation where we're in right now. False information being said by people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like the president. Like the Senate Majority Leader. Like motherfuckers on Fox News. Like motherfuckers on one America Network or whatever.
Yeah.
Like motherfuckers on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, 4chan. You do not know what you're talking about. Shut the fuck up. You are getting people killed. You don't like what I'm saying? Kiss my ass. Dig a hole in the middle of nowhere and put yourself in it.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see why you get so heated about the subject. It's just people need to be informed, people need to be educated, and people need to stop believing in such ludicrous conspiracy theories with no scientific backing. None. And like, I guess the other thing that's frustrating about these people is once they're confronted with information that can help them change their mind, they choose not to because they're so vested.
They get so damn defensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
They get so damn defensive. Hey, defensive people, take your head out your ass before someone else does it, and you're not gonna like the way how they're gonna do it. Let's not get to that point.
Yeah, that's insane that people are saying they're not going to take the vaccine.
Oh, they're gonna take it. They're gonna take it. Or they're not gonna be around for much longer. One way or another, they're gonna take it. We cannot continue to live like this. We cannot. Not because it's like, oh, we're bored all the time and shit like that. There's people who don't have jobs right now. This is what we're talking about right now. There are people who do not have jobs right now that are literally sitting there waiting for a $1,000 check to get in their fucking mailbox so they can live in their apartment or their house for one more month. And some of the times, that's not even enough money to even pay the rent and pay most of the bills. There are motherfuckers out here right now that literally have nothing, that were barely scraping by, and then this shit came, and now they have nothing. They have nothing. These renters, these banks, they gonna want their money. They're gonna want their money. Yeah, what was the total of the last week that for unemployment? People claiming unemployment.
The last 2 weeks, I think, is totaling up to over 10 million people.
10 million
that filed for unemployment. I don't know how many of them have gotten it so far, but that's how many people filed for it.
10 million people that filed for unemployment.
Yeah.
What you told me? What was the most that had filed for unemployment?
Prior to that, in 2009 or 2010, I think it was almost 700,000.
After the economic collapse
of 2008. Maybe it was like 2010. One of those like years following 2008.
And I told them, like, this show, we don't like it political, but 2010, 2009, that was Obama, right? Pretty much correct. 700,000 people. Last 2 weeks, 10 million people that just filed. And there's untold millions of people who haven't filed or don't qualify for it. Let's not forget about them. People who are doing the gig economy lost their fucking jobs.
I mean, honestly, thank God they have they changed, they amended the rules for unemployment so that gig workers can collect unemployment. Like, you're talking about millions of people of people who rely on Uber and Grubhub and whatever else delivery service for work, for full-time work.
And they still might screw them out of pay.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's what stupidity gets you. You might be okay, but the rest of us are fucked. And it's not all your fault, because there's a lot of motherfuckers up in top of the food chain, leading the country, leading manufacturing, shit like that saw this shit coming. But don't be one of the people that compounds in the error. We're already been fucked over. Stop adding to it. Because the same people that tell you this bullshit again,